Yo, what's going on, guys? And now we're going to be talking about the Atlanta Hawks versus the Orlando Magic. So before we start today's video, I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you guys expect and why do you think this team will win, whoever you think will win, and why? Now, I think this is an interesting matchup. Orlando started the year out hot and they kind of tapered off. A lot of it, they were even playing well with the injuries and everything, but they weren't able to push through once everybody got healthy. Plus, Franz Wagner just lost the ability to shoot. Then the Hawks, both the East second best, my apology, but the Hawks were a team that were playing really good. Like really good to close out the year at times. I know the thing with them is inconsistency, but as long as Trae Young there and Mr. Quinn Snyder is helping them build up their situation, I think they put themselves in a really good spot. So that's where I want to hear you guys' opinions on that one, because when I look at the Orlando Magic, they boast the East second best defense, 105.3 points against them per game, but the worst offense among playoff teams, 105 points per game. So that's about a negative 0.74 imbalance between those scores. And Banchero Wagner had that 68-point game in February. The Magic can control this playing game, and obviously this is win and you're in against the second seed. And who wouldn't want to be playing the second seed, right? So to me, I think the most interesting part about all of this, when we see teams like the Hawks, we see teams like the Magic, where the Hawks are going to bring the firepower. They have the fourth best offensive scoring, 4 points per game, 118 in the East, but they also have the worst defense amongst East playoff teams, giving up 119.6 points against them a game. Now, Trae Young's efficiency and help from Atlanta's wings is going to be the big decider if they're going to be able to beat the defense up. So we're going to talk Atlanta first, and then we'll do Orlando first, just because I think they're the ones in the most interesting situation, as they were hot and then they slipped off. Now their offense rating's the 27th in the league, and they have the second best defensive rating. They score 105 points and they give up 105 points. They're basically even, which is crazy to think about. And in this game the other day against the Pacers, obviously they played their backups, but in their last healthy game, I would want to say, where they have Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., they've been forced to play a lot of Corey Joseph. They're running Anthony Black off the bench. Contavious Caldwell-Pope's still doing his thing. Caleb Houston's been a dead eye for them. Cole Anthony's interesting, but yeah, so when we look at the injury report right now, we do know Suggs been ruled out for the rest of the season, and then we know Mo Wagner is too, but we assume Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., Contavious Caldwell-Pope, and Paolo Banchero will all be healthy. This is a team that, when you look at their field goals made, field goals attempted, and field goal percentage, they're all bottom 3 in the league. Same thing, they make the least amount of 3-pointers in the league, even though they attempt the 22nd most, and they make, at a percentage, they're like the worst 3-point shooting team in the league. They get to the free throw line a bunch. They don't rebound or pass all enough. Like, they're really gonna have to survive off their defense right here, and it hasn't been great when you look at it up close. 26 point a night from Paulo. Franz Wagner's averaging 24 as well, but he's shooting basically 29% from 3. Paulo shooting 32. You have no Jalen Suggs or Mo Wagner, who were your third and fourth scorers. Those are now replaced by Cole Anthony, Anthony Black, Wendell Carter Jr., Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Goga Bitadze, and Tristan Da Silva, and some Jonathan Isaac, maybe a little bit of Trevlin Queen. So it's really difficult, and Corey Joseph as well. There's not enough, in my opinion, there's not enough help available for them to be able to go ahead and beat the Hawks in a scoring match. They're going to have to be able to choke the Hawks and tell the Hawks that they're going to have to beat them at their own game, which that in its own self is going to be difficult. Now let's talk Atlanta Hawks. I think the Atlanta Hawks were more interesting teams. They're a team that currently is, as we said, 5th in points per game, but their offensive ratings 18th and the defensive ratings 18th. They have a net rating 19th rank of negative 1.3. If we look at the other day when they played Philadelphia, Dyson Daniels, Trae Young, is this one Gee or Gay on Muhammad? This is Muhammad Gee, right? Or I always mix up the two because there's two of them. Either way, Risa Shea, Dyson Daniels, Trae Young, Onyeka Okongwu, Karis LeVert, even Trey Mann, Terrence Mann, George Niang, Vit Kricic is another guy that they really like. And for a team that currently, if you look at their stats, they've done a rather good job of being able to put up shots, 7th most made field goals while attempting the 5th most. They have 14th in percentage. They make the 14th most 3-pointers and attempt the 15th most, and they make the 8th most 2-pointers while attempting the 9th most. So pretty efficient inside. They're 2nd in steals and assists, 11th in blocks. Now rebounding, 9th in offensive, 22nd in defensive. So there is a sort of few details right there. So that's where I think if the Hawks are able to just outshoot the Magic and just turn this game into just a shootout, I think it's going to be interesting. And yeah, I'm curious. This will be one where if I am Mr. Quinn Snyder, I'm just telling the boys, hey, let's go ahead. Obviously, we hope that Clint Capella may or may not be back. I don't think that's a deciding factor, but I think we could maybe see Clint. I don't think it's like a huge help if he is there, but Trae Young with Karis LeVert, who's averaging 15, 14 from Dyson, 13.5 from Onyeka, 12.5 from Zachary Risa-Shea, who's been absolutely on a tear to close out the season. You got 10, almost 10 from Terrence Mann. If Clint's there, he's got 9 and 9. Garrison Matthews and Vit can both help you, but I think if you're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're going maybe 8, maybe 9 guys deep. And that's where I find it all curious as how are we going to do this and why? Because these are all really good situations for both the Magic and Hawks. Hawks, to win this, they don't have to rely on their defense. They just got to outshoot them, put up more 3-point shots, and play their game. While I think if you look at the Magic, you're just trying to contain and just keep scoring, or not allow the Hawks to score and just keep scoring the way you want, which is Paolo Banchero controlling the boards and taking advantage of everything that way. So to me, I think it's definitely interesting, to say the least, because these are very interesting situations with how the play-in will lead to them being able to play the 2nd seed, and then if they lose, they'll play the winner of the 9-10, which is the Heat and Bulls, which I think are the 2 teams that whoever loses this game doesn't want to play, let's be honest. And I want to think or hear your guys' thoughts down below, but that's it. Peace out.